Hi, everybody. I am so excited that I have my dearest friend and founder of the MSA, My Strength Ability band here with me. Stefanie is in Switzerland right now, and we are here at DIG. It's like the coolest thing that we can make this happen. And just a little background, Stefanie had designed the strap originally. Some of you might recognize the black strap because we've had these at the studio. And before the pandemic, we used to do classes here. I've done workshops, and it's an amazing resistance band training for your muscles and for your tissue and just overall mobility and strength. So recently I've been putting the band back in on Mondays, and we're getting a lot of interest, but we have a new design band. It's thicker, longer, and wider. And Stefanie has now just allowed us to use these. We're going to actually use these bands at the studio for my Monday class. So because it's a different size, I was hoping that Steph, you could show us, if you really look, it's quite substantially a different band. And I've kind of mastered the black band to some degree, but I find it limiting in the size because certain tall people, it's really hard. So what I thought you could do is maybe introduce the band, like a little bit about, she's a physical therapist, or we call it a physio in Europe. So she uses this therapeutically for people, not just for everyday classes, but I thought maybe you could also give us a little bit about the band and why, it's, so important that, you can work with it in a healthy way.
Absolutely. I love that. Well, thanks for having me, first of all. So I have to say the band came as a very natural development, and I call it evolvement of the TheraBand, the classic plastic band. And it really came about because I was too frustrated working with the plastic, because it would cut, it would roll, it would flip, it would hit. So it's like, I need something elastic that allows me to teach integrity and alignment and stability, but that has loops, so I can bring it into not just the anatomy teaching, but also into a very sustained practice. And that's how it came about. And then, one night I was like, let's get this done. And Eli, my husband, was behind it, and the black strap was born. And I'm working with the black one. Just as you said, I hit limitations. Like, it's great, but if I work with taller people, it's too short. If I want to do more than just upper body work, it's also too short. And then we got to do the red one, which is basically just wider, so it wouldn't cut into your palms in this position, which is basically the position you have when you're holding the band, unless you have it around your wrists, right? And it's longer. That's the magic of the red band.
It actually feels more durable, because we were like really working these bands, and some of the black ones were like, hey, we're tearing these things apart. So we're excited.
Absolutely. And what's fascinating, what you're saying, like, I've gotten used to it. That's why I didn't even bring it up right now. Like, in the beginning, I was like, oh my God, right? It's so tough. And now it's just, I'm only working with the red one now. And in fact, there's going to be a black, even tougher one coming next year. Woo-hoo. And I call it the Magnum.
Whoa, okay,
the Magnum,
good.
Yes. But anyway, that just shows the progression of the body, and how when you work with a certain threshold and you keep, pushing that threshold, how you naturally develop the capacity for the new threshold. So yes. It's great.
So you're going to show us a few positions.
Yes. And if, of course, you always have the options, if you want to add the resistance, to go tighter, right? Yeah, let's do a little sequence. So you get to see how we can use the band in various ways. And we're going to get started on just in a seated position, okay? For the signature move, let's get grounded. I'm going to use the block between my feet, just to have a nice supported seat. You could also just sit on your heels, but sitting down really allows us to have a little more integrity on the bottom and more focus at the top. And we're gonna take the red strap outer shoulder width apart, a little wider even, yeah. And we're gonna go right into exactly signature move. So reaching your arms up, make your palms face one another, stretching the arms up, and then just drop your shoulders down, away from your ears. Very nice. So inhale, breath nice and tall. And as you exhale, take a little more resistance and then pull your arms into cactus arms. Head remains above the base of the pelvis. That's it. So inhale, breath, we move up, maintain the resistance, make space between ears and shoulders, and then exhale down. So for this sampling, I'm showing 3 to 5 repetitions, okay? Inhale, reaching up, keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, so right now the position is through the wrists. Hold. We're gonna do a static stretch, showing it from the side. So keeping this now, keeping the head back, just move your forearms back and your heart forward. So we're moving from a dynamic resistance stretch into a static stretch. And what's really cool is you just stay here and breathe and keep the width through your chest. You really feel this opening for one thing, but also the strengthening at the same time.
For sure.
And here for the upper body, it's so crucial to get these shoulder blades stabilized and the front of the chest open. Take a deep, deep breath. From the static stretch, inhale, lift the arms, and release. Very nice. A little sample of the signature move, cactus arms. And now let's keep this, or take it, my earbuds are dropping, one loop tighter, depending. I want you to have your hands outer shoulder width apart. So I'm gonna go one loop in, just because I want you to feel a very clear resistance when you bring your hands down. Yes, so placing one palm, take the second palm and stretch it away from it. So your outer shoulder width apart for your down dog palm position. And already you feel the strap is pulling your forearms in, right? So turn your biceps forward, get inhale breath, just open the heart. And then exhale, just move your seat back. And as you move your seat back, keep that external rotation in the arms. Good, inhale, breath moving forward. And you always want to have this nice plugging in sensation. I mean, for the shoulders, it's so good. We're designed to walk, but not to exactly walk on our hands. In yoga, we do that so much. So it's crucial that we have really good shoulder stability through muscular integrity. Good. So tuck your toes now and let's take that into the down dog. So as you make this space between your ears and shoulders, just lift into your down dog. Exactly. I'm going to go sideways too. And keep that width. Actually, I'm going to show it from the front first, just to show you what I don't want to have happen. And through the resistance, you can keep a little bit more space here. Finding breath. Beautiful. And the down dog. So you resist your upper arm goes out. So that's good. Inhale, come into plank. I was just checking. There we go. Keep your biceps forward. Let's lower down. Yeah, just lower down nice and slow. Take a baby cobra. So we go through a really yoga familiar kind of routine. And then exhale, find your way back into downward dog, but keeping that resistance. Very nice. Step your right leg forward. Your back knee down. And a little lunge. Okay, we're going to change positions. And now we take the strap behind us. And this is called position 2. You're either in the last or the second last loop, going in from the top, strap at the back. Okay, gonna go sideways here. Inhale, breath, push your arms. This is called forward push. Forward, so it's a flexed spine. And then as you exhale, zip your belly, but take your arms into that cactus arms position. Yes, that just sounded good.
know, exactly.
Inhale.
You guys have me mic'd.
And
Unfortunately, you have to hear me too.
Without lifting the shoulders, but really flexing the spine. And then, okay. So this is just a forward push. This is the second position. And we're just combining it here in a lunge. And now we take a side stretch. So placing the front hand, yeah, drop the shoulders, really let it plug in, and then take a nice elongating static stretch, drawing the belly in, really opening through the breath.
Yes. I love this one.
Beautiful. I have a beautiful photo of you doing this one with the black strap. And let's come back, and we're going to transition right into taking the front foot, lifting it off the ground and placing it sideways. I want to do this, I call it windmill with you, because it really addresses the side body. So from Parigasana, from this beautiful side stretch here, drawing the front ribs a little in if you have that tendency of extending the spine. Inhale, breath, and then switch sides. So left fingertips down, and we elongate the right arm. Good. Here, inhale, breath, exhale, collect the power, and then with the power of the side body, come up. Okay. So just a really generous, and even though we're elongating, we're staying integrated. You may feel from the strap this pull into the joint from your shoulders. Great. Switch one more time. Beautiful. And then come back. So it's really onto knees. Let's just switch legs here. Huh? We do a brief switch for the sake of balance. Forward push. Get to show all sides. Cactus arm. Zip the belly as you lift the heart. Beautiful. So at times, this is a good example. It's a resistant tool just right now. And then at times it becomes an assist. Like right now, it's actually assisting, right? The lift of the heart. So we play with this principle of resistance, but also assistance. Front hand, front knee, take a nice side stretch. And then here as well, I resist, but at the same time, I have an assist of the top shoulder into the joint. It helps me to find the home base of my shoulder joint. And then coming back, we're gonna lift the front foot. Let's do the side kneel one more time. Moving it to the side with sound effect. There we go. And you know, at the gym, there's one tool where you lay your whole body over and then you come up with the side body here. So you can really challenge yourself right now when you come off the ground to get all this power generated. So it's inhale, breath, exhale, engage knee to foot from the side body. So you feel your sides. Yeah, you could even add the arm from a leverage, exactly, to have that work. Yeah. So it's always this, you know, story of lengthening and strengthening at the same time. Awesome. All right. Let's get on to our knees. And we're going to loop it now around the thighs. Because at the beginning, me too, I was working mostly with the upper body, and now I'm really using it for the lower body just as much. So I'm going to loop my last end into the end loop, and now really tighten it. Okay. So basically pulls my legs together, but because I stay hip width, I have the resistance. And then what's important here that when you tuck it in, grab it right after the knot. So it will stay like a loop end now. And let's get on all four. It's a fun one. This is one for Sue. Inhale, like the spine. And as you exhale, we're gonna just move the knee to the side.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Inhale, center. And then stay as symmetric as possible as you pull. Yeah, you'll feel it. Like 1 repetition, you got it. And the same you could do with your glutes. Like you could do the same for your glutes, just going backwards and up. So I'm just, you're just sampling right now. But of course, when you work past your 5 repetition, you really get into the strength from toning. Yeah. Same on the opposite side. Should we just do that right away? Right leg, outer hip. So it really functions as a loop bands, like the traditional loop bands.
Yeah, this is great.
And it's super beneficial for the outer hip and therefore the leg alignment. And then also, right, just address certain body parts and work isolated out of the joints. Now working out of the hip, not the rest of the body. Exactly, beautiful. And then let's tuck our toes under and walk back, through down dog into Uttanasana. Place your feet hip width. And then bend your knees, lift your heels. Let's do a little dynamic Utkatasana. Inhale up, keeping your inner knees lifted. So the resistance band helps you to guide the positioning of the leg. Inhale all the way up, hands down. And then let's do it again. Bend your knees. And for extra challenge, you can lift your heels. You want to see your big toe here. And it happens so often that the knee collapses, but we just don't allow that to happen because of that resistance. And we know it from exhale forward fold. Like when we do a hands-on and the body needs to learn to go somewhere, we usually give resistance. So the muscular inter-coordination starts happening. And this is really what the strap for us does. Shall we do one more? Bend your knees. Utkatasana, inhale breath. Feeling nice and tall. Coming to standing, heels down. And then inhale, breath, full up. And then let's forward fold. I'm going to go one more time on my tippy toes. Okay, and lower down. Beautiful. And I wasn't going to plan on this one, but I want you to let you know that the loop bend, you can also use one stage lower. Yeah, so if you just push it down to your ankles, make sure that the knot is on your thigh or on your leg. You can also work with resistance like the loop bend through the lower ankles. Yeah. So from the front, so just do a single leg stand and pull the leg back and sideways as I bend and extend. Yeah, the outer hip. Like it really is transformable into this loop band. And by the way, it also is a mat holder. So if you roll your mat nice and tight and you loop the ends, you can carry a mat on your back with the band.
Yeah, that's a really nice plus that it becomes your mat carrier. And at the end of.
Should we switch legs just to go backwards, sideways, keep your leg alignment as you bend your knee. Here you go. Just wanted to show that because it adds more resistance as it's lower down than the mid thigh. And the same can be done just above the knees for thigh positions and so on. But one thing I'm eager to do is another position as well. So we can remove it, which is position 4. So I just organized them into 6 positions, plus extra assist, plus resistance assists. And this one is position 4, where from behind the calf, through the outside, this is very important, I go into the base of my feet, big toe, pinky toe. And I choose second last or last loop. Exactly. Let's go into wide stand first. So it doesn't do too much here other than make you aware of your feet, which is a lot, right? It makes you aware if you pull it up a little, resistance increases. And now I want you to go into Uttanasana dynamic form to really feel that work and the outer hip and the whole spiral of the leg. So I'm going to step forward, taking the block here, nice and slow. And then we're going to go, beautiful, bending both knees, elastic, and then extend both legs, keeping that external rotation of the legs. And the strap really, it guides you there, right? It pulls your leg outward. But at the same time, the resistance makes you more stable. Like doing Uttanasana with the strap will actually allow you to, you know, stabilize easier than when you do it without it. All right, bend your knee, step back, and let's just switch sides. Forward out block. Again,
So good.
The sampling. I love this one. Stepping forward. Bending the knee. Extend, yeah. Shall we move in sync? Yeah, let me sync to you. Yeah, and these outer hips, they're really magic to support low back. So if your outer hips, which is basically the whole leg alignment, are there and awake, your low back will free up in no time. Exhale, beautiful. Slowly step back. Yeah, there we go. And then I make sure I'm in the last loop now for this one. And there's a really, we're going to do a nice transition to sticking the feet together. Show it from the side. I bend my knees. And then I pull it over the hip. So I'm just over the ridge of the pelvis. And I make sure my feet are hip width. The strap is where I want it to have. And I'm here. Yes. Back in the squat. Yeah. How's that? So from here, very good. You're gonna, it can slip, but if it has enough resistance, it will stay. You're gonna go into forward fold, bend the knees. And then as I exhale, I push the floor away, turn my arms outward. And I do kind of a tabletop. Yeah. Extending, but not hyperextend. And then let's roll in the upper body. And the knee, just working the back muscles as we work symmetric leg power. It's like a leg press. It's like a functional leg press right now, right?
Good.
Through this position. Working really the extension, the back line of the body. The one that gets a little when we sit a lot. Very nice. Okay. All right. Bend or take the strap through the inside. Bend the knees. And then let's come into seated position. All right.
Like
So there's really a lot of various ways of working it. Right now, it's a bit an assist for the pelvic position, right? For keeping your neutral curve in your low back. But we're gonna take one leg out. Yeah, for a open Uttanasana. And then take a side stretch. And I just want you to feel here how it can assist that tilt of the pelvis and kind of also help you energetically or softly ground the pelvis into the earth. Yeah. And then of course, if we were to go into a forward fold, I'm going to just close my knee here a little. I can use the strap to grab it. Inhale, lengthen the spine, find that asymmetric twist, and then fold. As I keep extending the leg. It's just a nice constant reminder of the engagement of not just the muscular power, but also that extension, the lengthening effect.
So nice.
Yeah. Options are really, like, the more I work with it, and I did a year of training with the strap now, the more I discovered it's really, there's no limit to it, and everyone will end up working a bit differently with it, whatever their focus is as teachers. Okay, I'm just going to switch here into second side. Let's get that pelvic tilt. And while you do Uttanasana, I'm going to show also Uttanasana, which I find to be a great assist for just teaching pelvic awareness and the whole tilting when we are sitting of the pelvis, and to actually help lengthening the spine as you work through the power of your legs. Yeah. So it's basically fourfold, but it will give you that input on your pelvis to tilt forward.
Yeah, it really does assist in the anterior pelvic tilting, which is what's so important before we go into the full fold. So this is such a nice feeling of support right around the hips. And just having that hip squeeze alone feels really just so supportive. And then you have your strap wherever you need it to be able to grab. It's so nice. I love it.
Maybe the pandemic has boosted the assisted form of working with the strap, because really at times you can kind of create a hands-on feeling with the strap. Yeah. Right, in various positions. So it's beautiful.
Oh, just sitting in, this is so nice, Steph, just the Dandasana, just not even folding forward. Oh my gosh, it feels so good. You feel so supportive being upright. You're not, you're not as slumpy. And then to be able to, as you come forward, it definitely is moving you. It's like you have these hands on your spine helping you to show the direction of your pelvis. So I love this. I love it.
Oh, great. Well, this is just a sampling. There's so much more. Like, we're not even going back supine right now or into core work. But one thing I wanted to do to wrap it up is to bring the strap into the diaphragm loop, which is position 3, or currently defined as position 3, where we do the same looping that we did around the thighs and the ankles, now around the rib cage, pretty much resembling the diaphragm, our main breathing muscle. And you want to make sure you tighten it to have the awareness of the 3-dimensional expansion of your rib cage, but to not have you, go into panic mode or restricted way of feeling. Well, there's a little restriction, but it should be loose enough to not trigger anything. And let's just wrap it up here, bringing the palms facing down, close to your hip, shoulders back, closing your eyes. Let's just get a moment of getting in touch with the object you feel around your ribs, around your diaphragm. Pretty much on the outside of where your main breathing muscle attaches. And as you move into the awareness of your breath, just have the strap 3-dimensionally expand forward, sideways, backwards, landing in center. And as you exhale, get that feeling of pulling your skin away from the strap, almost like you want to have it drop down. Sealing the body to center. Let's do that a couple times. Feeling the back body, and an exhale, drawing the skin away from that connector. So I really call it connect, resist, surrender, in terms of basically the tool's task is to give you more a sense of connection. It gives you a sense of resistance and assistance. But then ultimately, of course, we want to the surrender of it all.
Okay, thank you.
Sometimes.
I love this.
Yeah,
I love
you're
that.
welcome.
And I love this part. I often begin these classes with it on the ribs so that we do get that beautiful, feels like a big smile as just widening into this resistance. It gives you some support to really expand your lungs. So thank you. And this, just like I said, this is just the beginning. We're going to be having classes here Mondays at noon. And then in February, Steph's going to come and start. It's a extensive training. It's almost 20 hours of learning the strap. You don't have to be a yoga teacher, but if you are a yoga teacher, you can actually get CEUs for this, right? And you can also get training to be able to teach it. But really for yourself, it's just 3 live sessions, 2.5-hour classes that will really go into all the positions. It's a great way to get yourself threaded in, wired into what we're doing. Because we just learned this from Steph now, and there's some positions I'm like, oh, I got to write that down. So I remember that. But again, the more you do it. So we're doing it in February once live, March once, April once. And then in between that, there's lots of practice time. So I'm excited about that. That's a bigger training. It's coming up not till next year, but until then, hopefully we can do this again, just so it keeps threading in more and more for everybody here. So you are the best.
Yes.
I love you.
Well,
And
thank you for your excitement of this work. And I'm convinced it will serve in very various ways. Yeah.
It will. It definitely will. And I'm just thrilled that we have it. And we have you. So again, love you. Thank you for doing this. And I hope you guys come and check out the band, check out the new red bands. Very exciting. And we'll see you next time.
Brilliant. Good to see you. Bye-bye.
Bye.